What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the PhantomCast. Today we got James, Caleb, Steven, and the ever Sketchmaster J-Man Jordan Duel joining us today. Today we got 2 topics for you. We're going to be talking about college, our experiences, and Jordan's going to be highlighting on his almost college experience because he's still in high school. And then we got a mystery topic after that. So, Caleb, would you like to start us off?
All right, guys. So today, I asked these guys, I said, what is your college experience been like, or how has it affected you? And we're going to roll off this with Jordan because he's still not in college yet. But I know anyone that is still in school knows it's almost the end of school year, and we are all looking forward to this summer. So, yes. J-Man, take it away.
Well, I just gotta say that coming from high school to college, I don't know. I feel like high school is way busier because you guys are all in college. Well, most of you guys are in college, but I don't know. I'm like busy 24/7. Sketchmaster because I'm freaking busy all the time. You guys are just like, oh, I can sit down for an hour and do nothing, like whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, going into summer, I don't know.
Wow, Jordan.
I'm freaking excited just to kick back and relax, actually job and make some money so I can go blow it on whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The next thing would be, what are you most looking forward to going into your first semester? Like, what are your thoughts about your first semester
of college?
First semester of college.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to most in your first semester of college?
Definitely the parties, bruh. I mean,
okay.
I don't know. Community college is just the place to be, really.
DC3.
DC3 is the place to be.
You only get C's and D's.
Good time. James, roll with the copyright now that we're already throwing stuff out there.
What?
What?
Go to www.ed or dc3.edu for further information.
The opposite. We need the copyright about how we're not sponsored by these people.
We have no ties or sponsorship from DC3. Remember that.
Or any other products that we are going to be naming in the rest of this cast.
Products, companies, etc.
Basically, we do not get paid for this crap.
No.
Any of it.
Indeed.
All right, so J-Man, you have some college classes under your belt. Do you feel like that's helped you get a feel for the semester that you're going into?
Yeah. It's been a real eye-opener for me. No, but the classes I took were really easy. Not because I'm smart or anything, but they just seemed, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt, I'm still kind of scared because I feel like that really wasn't, I shouldn't expect that because I know I'm going to be entering some harder classes.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yep.
Yeah. But, I mean, the biggest thing I'm excited for would be when you get to college.
Where's the enthusiasm?
Yeah, totally enthusiastic right now. School is great, guys.
Sounds
school
so exciting.
Amazing.
Stay in school.
Stay in school. There are 2 members of this podcast that learned that the
hard way. So James, why don't you tell us kind of what happened with you and your college experience and where you're at now?
Okay. Well, I am just finishing up my very first semester of community college. I was not enrolled in any classes last semester. I worked 5 days a week, sometimes 7 because I have a lawn mowing service. Reason being, I graduated high school with the thought of I'm going to go into medicine. I am going to do the best I can to get into a medical school, maybe even become a paramedic, right? And then summer went along, and as the days passed, I was sitting there and thinking, I'm like, wow, I really don't know what I want to do anymore with my life. And as as the semester rolled around and I started having to choose what classes, because obviously you have to pay for your classes in college.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to dedicate my time and money to? And I ended up picking the wrong courses. I got into the cell bio class with a joke of a professor, and so I changed my schedule once. Got into the EMT program, got kicked out of the EMT program 24 hours later. Apparently, I don't know, I may have smiled at the guy wrong. He may have not liked the shirt I was wearing that day. But then I was just like, okay, I'm kind of fed up with this, so I'm going to work. And definitely working, when you work all day and you have hardly any time to really relax, and when I did relax, I was playing video games or something, and I felt like I was very antisocial. I felt like I jumped into the workforce too early. So it's one thing to get into a job you like, have coworkers you like, get with people you want to be with, and I feel like doing that while being in school, you get a better experience. And don't get me wrong, I learned a lot while I was going to work all day during the week. But it got to the point where I kind of fell into this depression because I got into a routine. I woke up, went to work, came home, stayed up really late, lack of sleep, got up, went to work, kind of thing. And I didn't want to talk to anybody. I felt like if I didn't focus on my job, then I couldn't do anything else. Like I was just so focused on making money, not wanting to talk to people, and I did learn a lot. I learned how to manage my money. I learned what it's like to work. Because I was 18 at the time, transitioning to 19. I'm this like almost 20-year-old kid jumping straight into working with people in their 30s, and so I had to change my demeanor. I had to change everything about what I was doing and how I deal with customers. Because you're dealing with people. These are people that have established businesses. They want what's done right. You can't slack off. This isn't your average cart boy Dylan's job. And I definitely learned how to deal with older people. I learned how to deal with different types of customers. I learned what to do for people, how to not know everything. Because I was working in a shop making signs, and I had no clue. I was no master at it. I was told to apply this to that and make the sign look good. Well, then this depression, like I mentioned earlier, kind of set in harsh. I felt like I was wasting my time because I needed to make myself better, and I felt like an education would make myself better. And so I worked from about September until December, no breaks. And then I told them, I was like, hey, I need to go back to school. Like I kind of had this epiphany of, if I don't go back to school now, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to get back into the swing of things. And so I signed up for some easier classes. Like J-Man said, I'm not stressing myself out this semester. Got some basic classes, just trying to get my feet wet. But then it's kind of brought me to now where I've changed my major. I'm going for a history major in the Associate of Arts, which will get me into a bachelor degree program, which could further me into a master's or doctorate program in the side of history. So it's really just all these experiences have led up, and definitely everything I've learned from working in business has definitely helped me with working with professors, not being afraid to ask questions and all that stuff. So it's been a heck of a year, and I can't wait to get into the next semester or next year of things.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
I got one more question for you here. Would you say you learned more in your semester of working in the workforce, but not really, go anywhere towards your future per se, or in your semester of college where you are advancing into your future, but it's monotonous, it's just classes? Where would you say you kind of learn more experience in?
I would say working. I definitely learned more because that's real world experiences. You cannot predict how your day is going to go. You could say, okay, I have 3 signs to make today, and once I complete those signs, I'm good. Well, you could show up to work, and all of a sudden this huge order pops in, or you deal with 5 customers that come in, back to back to back to back. And
tell them what you did too, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I cut vinyl. I designed signs. I used software to design things for people. Anything like billboards. We did billboards. We could print on banners. You see those big old banners flying, like sale, spring sale, $99 mattresses, so and so insert brand here. We did everything you could do: giant stickers, small stickers, football helmet size decal sign. I mean, anything really you could think of being printed and cut at a large scale. was what I did. And yeah, definitely major things: time management, customer interaction, which leads to just human interaction with people. Besides
People
the
experience.
besides the whole thing that it was, I was happy to be at work and working, but on the inside I was dying because I hated my job and I hated my coworkers.
Right.
But definitely working real world, because that's a real world experience. That's hands on. A schooling can give you the knowledge, but unless it's like a technical program, you really can't grasp it until you go out and do it. And that's why I feel like working was way more beneficial for me. And it even helped me when I went back to school, because I could apply those things that I learned into my schooling.
Right.
Knowledge.
So Stephen and Caleb, then, you guys, straight out of high school, going into college, and I'll tell you guys what I did after you guys go. But you did the steps where, high school, college right away. The normal steps, and how do you think that affected you? And I know you both have jobs on the side as well. It's the kind of split between school and work at this point, and kind of balancing those, because you are nearing the end of an entire year of college at this point.
Caleb, I'll let you take it away.
All right. So, well, what really helped me, I think, from the transition was that summer, because that summer, at the beginning of the summer, I didn't have a job and I was really lazy. I laid around in bed all day pretty much. And my dad really got pissed, and it was a good thing for me though, because he told me, you have to go get a job. This is not an option just to lay around all day. And I think that's whenever it really struck me that high school is over, I have to grow up, like that kind of thing. And so so basically I applied to John Deere, and I applied to actually work back in the service department and do kind of an errand boy type of thing, mow the grass, clean up all the trucks for the service guys, all that kind of stuff. And they didn't have an opening, and so I was stuck in the water. I had applied for the job, and I'd applied a couple other places, but that was the only real place that I found any interest in, I guess. And my dad gave me some work on the side that I could do, just filling time. And about a month into the summer was whenever they called me and they said, hey, we have an opening. It's not exactly what you want, but we think it'll be a good foot in the door kind of step.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was really, really excited, because I was so pumped, because this was my first, and I had one other job that was technically a taxable job, but this was my first, I have a job. And it was really cool. And that, in that aspect, I joined the John Deere staff right in the middle of harvest, actually, so busiest time ever. Literally the first day I showed up, and I was putting stock away. I was putting all the parts that we got in that morning away. And if you've never been to a big John Deere company, we get boxes and boxes during harvest. We get 14 line items, and each line item could mean 12 parts that you have to put away. So we get hundreds of parts a day. And literally they gave me the gun, said, okay, scan this barcode, go to wherever the bin is, scan this barcode, and put it on the shelf. And that's what I did for probably a month straight. And they just didn't have time to show me how to do any of the other stuff because we were so busy. And since then, I've learned all the other stuff that you have to know being in the parts department. Not all of it, because, gosh, you have to work there for your entire life to know all of it.
Right.
But yeah, and so that gave me a good sense of I am waking up every morning to do a job. And I kind of felt like that was my responsibility, was I go to work, I do this. It gave me that sense of, okay, this is what real people do every day. And I really like that. And taking that into college, I had a motivation, I guess, because I still had that job. And I applied for I work in the afternoons during school, but I go to school, I took all morning classes, which one big plus of college is you can choose when your classes are. And if you're done with everything, you can stand up and leave. That's so great.
Yeah.
But Yeah, and so my classes start both semesters. Actually, I've had classes that start at 8:30 every day, so that was really nice. And I actually, if you were just going into college, I highly recommend trying to get a set schedule for you waking up, because my first semester I had Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30. Tuesday, Thursday I didn't start till 10:30. So my sleep schedule was all whack because you wake up at different times and stuff. I literally had it. I literally. James is saying don't do that, but I think it's
No, I'm saying that's my exact schedule. My sleep schedule is crap, so I'm not vouching for that, bro. It's terrible. My sleep
exactly.
schedule is so crappy.
Exactly. And that's a big piece of advice that I learned first semester. I think every college kid kind of learns that first semester is you don't want to be waking up at random times. You want to kind of be waking up at the same time every day. But
the second thing is your second good point was get early classes. Get your classes done.
But not too early.
Not too early, but get your classes done so you have the afternoon to get your other work done. You don't want to be spending your afternoon in class. I feel like the earlier you are, the more motivated you are to get your classes or get your work done.
Even if you don't have a job per se, you can still do other stuff. Like you can do homework, and then you have that time from 5:30 on. Say, like if you didn't have a job, you could relatively easily get all your homework done by 5:30. Let's be honest. And I feel like even if you don't have a job, if you still get early morning classes, you can be done with your day and all your homework by 5:30, and you have that time to have a social life. And that's a really good thing. But I had that motivation though that I needed to work, I needed to make money, so I had to get a job. I had a job, and then I had the motivation to get all my work done in the morning. And I rarely have homework, but usually, I mean, I'm not one of those kids that teacher hands you homework and everybody walks out of the class. I'll sit there and actually like do the homework. And I find my schedule busy, but not too busy, because my work is really, really good because they let me kind of dictate my hours by my class schedule, which is really nice. And generally I get out of class from 12:30 to 1:30 pretty much every day. And so it's nice because I go in about 1:30-ish every day. And so they worked with me on that, and that was really good. But yeah, and same thing as James was saying, like if you work in the workforce, you have to have people relation skills, I guess is what I'm going to call them. Because to be honest, there's some really wacky people that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
People are crazy, man.
Yeah,
bro. It's so hard to decipher people nowadays.
Crazy.
Exactly. And it's not only people coming into the store, it's people that you have to work with. And everybody has their little quirks that are going to piss you off, but you have to get over them. Because if you didn't, you would literally hate any job, I think.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly right.
Yeah. And that's one of my perks about working at John Deere is I really love the people there. And everybody is really nice, and I feel like it was just a good first job, and staying at home helps too. I think
with costs and everything.
I guess we all did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Steven, I'm just realizing this now too. Kind of in a sense, you and Caleb are really similar in not only your school but your jobs too. So if you kind of want to explain a little bit about your job, because I just kind of realized they're pretty similar in
definitely.
In
I can see the parallels.
Yeah, they are very similar. Like, you know, Caleb, he works at John Deere, and I work at Wilson Trailer, you know, grain trailers and livestock trailers, but they are really close, similar. Like, literally, we're both. I mean, even with like how our schedules work, like my boss is really flexible with my schedule and how like my classes are and everything. If I just tell him like, hey, I need this day off or this day off, and he's just like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, you know, whatever works for you, and it's really nice to have that. But yeah, it's a lot of working with the part numbers, knowing part numbers, writing them down, putting parts away, all that kind of stuff, you know. Not a bad job, you know. It's a good part-time job, you know, so. But
I think that's one thing too, though, because I know kids that work at Walmart per se, like they literally work at Walmart, but they work the night shift because they can't fit anything else into their schedule. And those kids stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning at work, and then they get up the next day for class. I'm like, how can you do that? That would drive me insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Nevin.
So I think what I'm taking from this from hearing you guys is if someone's looking to do college and work at the same time, to find a place that you're gonna prosper in and have a good boss, so that they can work their schedule.
Yeah, no, definitely. We got both sides, because see, I didn't make it clear. My boss and stuff, it was people that didn't want to work. They were people that, yes, they gave me time off when I needed it, but if I wasn't in the office, nothing got done. It was, oh, James isn't here, we'll pile up the work for when he gets back. And it was a toll, man. It was, I mean, I love to keep busy, but at a certain point, it just got too much, and it got too stressful, because if the slightest mistake was done, it couldn't have been put on anyone else but myself. And, if it fails, they can just say, oh, it's James. And and what was the worst part, even if a project did fail and I had nothing to do a part of it, I was still part of the blame for it. So things were just, it was just not a good environment. So it wasn't that the job was bad. I loved it, but it was the people working with. So they could also take that. It also is a huge factor that if you are in college, get a job where you feel welcomed and that's going to work with you in your schooling.
Yeah,
well, and sorry, Jordan. Jordan actually talked.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just gonna say it's really important. Like, if you find a job that's not working, to walk away from it and like not try to be like, oh, I'm gonna make this work. Like, actually walk away from it and find something that is going to work. But because if not, it's gonna take a toll, and it's just gonna go down from there, and it could affect the rest of your life.
In it. Yeah.
But I mean, there's also that point that you have to have it in. And like me, I pay totally for my college. My parents haven't paid a dime. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But for real, there's a point that some kids have to have a job, and I understand that too. Like, my brother was totally at that point where he just had to have a job to pay for college.
Well, you're not gonna love every job you have,
Oh, exactly.
No, definitely. But you still want to find one that you want to find one that's going to be good. And not stress you out to the point where you're becoming ill and your schoolwork is being affected by your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm just saying that I guess if you have to have a job, that doesn't mean necessarily that you can't apply other places while you're at that sucky job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Never quit a job without a backup plan.
So true.
So, Steven, you didn't really elaborate too much, but how has your semester been going? Or your full year? Coming to your full year, how's that been going?
Well, I guess I'll kind of bring the listeners up to speed on kind of my whole college adventure and how it's been. Mm-hmm. It's been a pretty wild one. Originally started out after graduated high school, committed to play football at Garden City Community College.
Forgot about
Went
that.
there. Yeah. I was going to be there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was...
Sorry.
No, it's good, man. At the beginning of the summer, I was going to be there for... Oh, man, I forget how long. I think it was... Oh, I can't think. 8 weeks in the summer, 6 weeks in the summer.
It was a long time.
Summer football camp, and it was all day. I mean, literally, we'd get up like 7, and we wouldn't get to bed till like 10:30, 11, and that was every day, So I ended up only being there for 2 weeks. I hated it. And quit. I couldn't take it. The coaches they were terrible, So came back to hometown Dodge City Community College. Thought I'd give it a try here again. The whole college football thing, But I realized college football is just a completely different thing than high school. Mm-hmm. It's so much more physically demanding, even emotionally demanding. It's a job. It is your full-time job. I mean, if you play college sports, you don't have time for a job.
Oh yeah.
So I just decided, maybe this just isn't for me. So quit that and just to go to school here. So did that. Rounding out my first full year here. Been a good year. A lot of ups and downs, but it's been a good year. Good experience. Been planning on for probably about half the year to transfer on to K-State after this year is over with. Actually went there today and pre-enrolled and everything, and it was definitely an eye-opening experience. I will tell you that much. I've talked to Nevin a little bit about this already. Haven't talked to you guys at all about it, but gonna share it with you now.
Oh yeah, I like surprises.
Oh yeah. So went there today and enrolled and everything. Went and talked to my advisor, and been looking into going into the pre-nursing program, the pre-health part of that, and really talked to my advisor. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not. I mean, she did not help me very much. I did not like how it went. All the courses I would have to take, it was stressful and overwhelming. Having to go there for a couple years and then have to transfer on from there to actually receive the Bachelor of Nursing at a different school. And I really did not know very many answers to the questions that she was asking me. It was like, she was like, where do you want to transfer this? And I just sat there in silence, and she was like, you don't know? And I was like, no. And so, it was just a really stressful. I mean, I was probably me and my mom were probably in her office for 45 minutes, talking about classes and stuff. And, well, she put me in classes too, but it was just a really stressful time in her office today. Really, but looking into all that, and if I were to transfer on, I was looking at KU possibly to transfer on there. And if I were to be in that nursing program and stay in that nursing program, I would have to keep an average GPA of 3.5 or above the whole time.
Boy, that's
in college,
good stuff.
Yeah, in a nursing program in college with those classes, it was it looked tough. It was gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But like throughout this whole thing, I'm thinking, like in the back of my mind, whenever she'd ask me like, oh, look at these classes, when she was trying to enroll me, like what classes pop out at you? What ones look like, you'd want to take? And I look at the paper, and my mind just, I didn't see anything, nothing. I'm like, yeah, nothing really pops out. I don't want to do any of this. And, eventually she would just say, oh, this one, and wrote it down for me. She didn't, she was just like, here you go, you'll take this one. I was like, okay, cool. So,
thank you.
Yeah, exactly. But so it was really, another thing that really hit me today was like, it's like everybody expects you once you graduate high school. Okay, you graduate high school, go to college for 4 years. After you 4 years, get a job, work the rest of your life. But it's like, I don't have to do that. I don't know why. Right. It's like a light bulb was like ding. You don't have to do what people expect you to do. You don't have to make other people happy. You can go do what you want to do, what makes you happy, whatever you want to do in your life, and I don't know why it just kind of dawned on me today, but it just kind of did, and I don't know if you guys remember, a couple years back I'd visited the Air Force Academy actually. And so that's kind of always been in the back of my mind ever since I went there, about possibly being a backup plan for other things. And so that really, I've really been thinking about that today, about I wouldn't go to the academy, but it's like what Nevin's going into, he's going to the Air Force, but I don't want to steal his thunder or say hey, I'm just gonna do what Nevin's gonna do just because me and Nevin are really good friends. I don't want to do that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying maybe this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's really been an interesting day.
Yeah.
No, a lot of thoughts have been going through my head.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents here.
Go for it.
Your situation, and like you said, people they get this thing in their head. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why high school advisors beat this down our throats. They're like, hey, you're going to graduate. You're going to go to college. You're going to have the best time. It's not been like that. If you look at every single one of the stories we've told, and Nevin's going to give us a completely, curveball. But still, if you look at it, life is not the same for everybody. You're not going to graduate. You're not going to all go to college. You're going to have to pursue something that you're passionate about. Excluding the fact that people are crazy and some people are passionate about murder. Do not do that. Help. Seek great help. But if you are passionate about something, pursue that. There are so many other options in school, like the military or
Trade
technical
school
schools.
even.
Yeah, anything. You
Yeah.
do not have to. If you feel this pressure that you have to go to school, get a degree, just take a step back and, like Steven said, realize you don't have to do that. There are so many other ways in life of making a living. You could
Yeah,
easily
for
get an
sure.
internship and then work your way up a business. You could start a small business with somebody. You could get into a trade, not even go into school. Yeah, I know, right? And you just do all these things and make your life what it is, because life isn't about pleasing others. It's about pleasing yourself. And by pleasing yourself and you being happy, your life will be better. Other people around you will be better because you'll be surrounding yourself with those people. You
Preach
know,
it, brother.
heck yeah, bro.
Preach it.
This is something I'm passionate about.
Oh yeah.
If you're not going to live life to the fullest and you're going to do what other people want you to do, you're not going to have a fun life, and you just
That's
need
exactly
to keep it
real. Mic drop. Mic drop
So
right there.
true.
like leaves
That's
the
a
call.
mic drop.
So we've all kind of shared our experiences. Jordan getting ready to go into college, all of us going into college, and Nevin kind of took a different route, but that's not necessarily wrong, as we were saying.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But I think we should hear his side of his story.
So yeah, everything that James just said, we all had our arms in the air, like amen to that. Is so true. And so yeah, I'll briefly just kind of explain my tale of this past year. Is kind of cautionary, I would say. I'm just like James is saying right now. You know, don't have to do the regular routes. You don't have to do what society's telling you. You can find your own way. I think I just went about that in the wrong sense, and I feel like that can happen to a lot of people that can sit there and say, you know, whatever, dude, I'm not going to go to college. I'm just going to get a job or whatever. But then they get out of high school, they get in the wrong job, and they just lose their motivation to do stuff, and then they just end up in a rut. And that happens to a lot of people, and that's what happened to me. So summer's coming up out of high school, graduation was crazy thing in itself. It's nuts that high schoolers have to think about where they're going next and juggle graduation.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Jordan, you're about to go through that, dude. It's a crazy month that you're about to have.
You walk across that stage. Once you hit that stage, bro, it's
something else.
Oh yeah.
Hit the ground running.
Seriously. So yeah, I basically was like, what am I gonna do? Do I go somewhere else? And I settled. I settled with Dodge City. Not that it's a settling thing, but I basically didn't know where to go, so I decided to not go anywhere and stay.
You stuck with familiar, yeah.
Stuck with familiar. I was like, I'm just gonna stay with family, stay at DC3. So I worked at United Wireless. I was a CSR and an RSR. I have over a year and a half, about almost 2 years of experience working there. Summer I worked full-time. Just like Caleb's saying, when you work in a full-time job and you deal with people all day, opens your eyes, really gives you good experience. And rolling into first semester of school, started doing that. I did it wrong. I had a 7 a.m. class, and then some days my classes were 9:30. That is too much of a difference of time. I would stay up way too late, and I would not get up for my 7 a.m. class. It just started this whole cycle. And instead of just kind of quitting everything, I relied on work too much. I enjoyed working hard and going to work, and I shifted my focus from school to work. And because of that, I grew more in the area of work and what I was doing, but school just lacked so much that my grades were tanking that, like James was saying, I started to get really depressed about it because I felt like I was going nowhere. I mean, I was working a good job and going to school, but I wasn't going anywhere, and I wasn't doing good. So I ended up, what the running joke is, I'm the job out of the crew. So I ended up cold turkey quitting college. Another thing I did, there's 2 ways you can drop out. You can either finish the semester and then quit, or you can just quit halfway through the semester. If you quit halfway through the semester, you're required to pay for your classes. If you are thinking about quitting anything, at least finish out your designated time frame, which if it's a semester, finish it out, because your scholarships we'll pay for that semester. And then after that, you're a free man. You don't have to do the next semester. Do not cold turkey quit, because that's what I did. And I had a whole buttload of money that had to be paid for that semester. So ended up paying for that. Went back to work full time. I was very satisfied with that for a couple of months. But like we were talking about earlier, you get into a rut. You feel like you're not going anywhere. Same thing happened again. And I decided to quit my job and move to New Jersey. So that's
Eastbound
where
and
I'm
down.
at now. And that was an adventure. And I want to tell you guys something, and everybody else. Doing something like that, it opened my eyes to the world. I mean, we're used to living in Dodge City, and we take sick trips with each other. But driving all the way to the East Coast by myself, it just expanded my mind in the way that I could do something in the independent sense. And then the final part of this story is I got out to Jersey. I'm on this life high here, excitement, travel, adventure, moving to a new place. And I got the quickest job I could find, pumping gas at a local Wawa. And let me tell you, it sucks more than college, than the job I had before, which I kind of like the job I had before. It sucks more than any of that. And I realized no matter what you do, you could move. If you don't take the steps to advance your future, you're still going to be in that rut. So at this point in time in my life, I am very soon enlisting into the Air Force, and that is going to be my advancement. And this is the first decision that I've made personally that I feel good about, in the sense that it's not just going to be a temporary fix of some fun and excitement. It's going to be something that's going to advance me into the future. So with that tale of craziness, you can take James' motivational speech and put it to heart, and then take my tale of caution, and you can still figure out your own way to go through life. But you still have to, as much as you can, you got to make smart decisions along the way. You can't just jump out and start
From the
swimming.
Phantom Pirates.
Yep. So
PhantomCast getting real.
that's all I really have. But I mean, I hope that everyone's listening to this is taking everything this to heart, because we have an eclectic mix of life scenarios here, from college.
We really do.
Not college.
Really
Everybody in this group has a huge, it's a huge difference.
Huge
with
difference.
with similarities as well, but a huge difference in where we're all going with life, where we're at in life. In that aspect of everything. It's
I think to go away from this, we should do for Jordan, do the thing you're most interested in going into this next stage of your life, and the most thing you're not wanting to do in the next stage of your life. And for the rest of us, the best thing that you think happened because of the path that you chose, and the worst thing that you think happened because of the path you chose.
You want us to go over that, or?
Yeah. Just kind of to close that segment up.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So, J-Man, what you looking most forward to, and what have you had second thoughts about?
The thing I really want to look forward to is finding myself. That sounds like corny and cheesy, but I honestly want to go.
It's definitely true.
Yeah, but I definitely want to go in and experience some different jobs. Like, I was working at a feed yard, playing with cows. Now I'm going to try and get into being a server and a waiter, to try and, experience people and talk to them, learn my communication skills. So another thing I want to do is travel around, kind of see where I stand and what I like. Because I don't want to sit down, and have a job and go to school and then just have that be my main focus, because that's just one thing. Like, I want to open up and look at all the possible things I could do and go and experience them, where that means going on a trip and just, seeing what this job is, or seeing how this part of the country lives, or, what they have to offer, how much different it is. That's what I really want to do. Because I was thinking, I want to get my gen eds, and then if I don't figure out exactly what I want to do, make that a pause moment in my life.
Take a year
just go off take a year off or something, work up enough money that I can go travel, maybe find like a cool summer job as like a park ranger or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do something out there that's totally different and just be like, do I like
be
this?
awesome.
And then just, just take something drastic and see where it goes.
Yeah. I'm a
So
huge
that's what I'm looking at
advocate.
now.
I'm a huge advocate of traveling, man. If you can get out there and explore, there is so much more than Southwest Kansas, and to anyone that
Amen.
lives anywhere else, there is so much more to where you're living. You don't understand how open, like even the United States. The United States is huge. Huge. You got to think that there's other continents with millions and billions of people living there too, and all of them don't know what it's like to experience unless you have money to travel everywhere. You're never going to know what it's like unless you get out there and travel. So yeah, hell yeah, J-Man. Sorry. Heck yeah, get out there and
Exactly.
and get out there and do it. It could have been a lot worse. That I could.
James, do you want to roll into yours on that?
What? Oh yeah. Best thing is that I finally have a route. I finally have something I'm looking forward to. Best thing that's come out of this is I have a distinct major. It's something that I'm passionate about. History is something I love. I can sit down and read a history book and interpret it from my point of view, but I also love hearing other people's point of view on the subject because history is so elaborate. It's something that it's never going to be black and white. There's always going to be different things to different scenarios, way that the past is correlating to now because, they say history repeats itself. If you don't learn history, it's going to repeat itself. And what's it doing? It's repeating itself because people aren't educating themselves on what's the real and what has happened and what's worked and what's not worked. The worst thing I would say is
that was a quote by Professor Haynes, right?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure I heard him say that one time in history class.
Yeah,
history's going to repeat itself because people don't learn it.
I hear people all the time, man. And,
yeah,
whether it's social media or whether.
Just had to say that. Go ahead.
No, definitely, yeah, because. I mean, he has been a huge influence on what and what I want to do. And people have told me, they're like, bro, you're such a teacher's pet. You're out there. I'm like, bro, I'm talking with a dude that knows his stuff. Like, I'm gonna talk with those people that know things about the subject that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your life sucks so bad that you can't be interested in. But I would say the worst thing is like I said earlier, letting people determine what I'm gonna do. I'll let people say like, oh, and you're going to take these classes. You should take these because they're going to help you toward this. And then I was already uncertain about it. I didn't know what I was going to do. So yeah, letting other people make the decisions for me and not being full-heartedly into it was a big mistake. So that's something that I've definitely learned from. That's my two sides of the thing. But
yeah,
for sure. What about you, Crockett?
So
what'd you take from this year?
I would say, I guess I kind of have two good. I can stick to one good thing, but I would say what I'm most proud of is that a lot of kids have to go and get financial aid or loans and stuff like that, and that's not bad at all. But I would say that I am really proud that I paid my first year of college. I already have the whole year paid off. And I did that myself, and that's something that I'm really proud of, and I think that a lot of kids kind of put themselves into debt in their first year or two of college without really realizing it, and I'm just glad that I accomplished that because that was kind of one of my main goals going into college was that I want to do this by myself, monetarily wise, and that's something that I'm really, really happy that I achieved. One of my biggest downplays is I would say would be, I guess I really have two because in high school I took some dual credit classes and I tanked them and basically brought my GPA down, and kind of same first semester I was kind of getting some C's, and my mindset was, oh well, C is passing, so that's okay. But really, if I would have applied myself, I think I could have got a little better grades. But yeah, the travel thing though, I do not travel hardly at all, and I think that's one of the things that's going to be a main point this summer, that I'm going to try to travel more, even if it's just weekend trips. And same next year. Like, I just want to travel and kind of expand my horizons. And summer goal, buy a motorcycle that I can go highway traveling with, because I think the open road on the back of a 700 horse power monster of a motorcycle is just freedom at its greatest.
America, boy. America.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Hey, man, brother.
What about you, Steve? What you feeling, ups and downs?
Oh, man. You know, a lot of the, I guess, more or less what I'm excited about now, you know, is the opportunities that's going to come up with me being able to do what I want to do. You know, I'm not set on anything yet. I'm not, I guess I'm trying to think of the words. Yeah, I guess I'm not set on anything yet is what I guess I'm trying to say. I got a lot of time to decide. I got a couple months to decide of what I really want to do with my life, where I want to go with things. I guess kind of going off of, you know, what you said, James, you know, you kind of have an idea of what you want to do, you know, but like I was just there yesterday, and today is completely changed, you know. Just because you're set on things, you know, not that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Just don't be surprised when change comes along and you change your mind. It happens all the time. You know, people change their majors all the time. People change not even just majors, but parts of their lives, aspects of their lives, what they want to do with their lives changes all the time. So, you know, don't be afraid of change. Don't be against change. Change can be good. Change can be bad. But a lot of times change is good, you know. So, but I'm definitely excited I'm excited for the change in my life and excited to see where it's all going to take me. So,
for sure.
Yeah. Nevin, what are you thinking about in this conversation and what it plays into your life?
Even through everything that happened, I don't have any regrets about any of it, because I learned. It might have been more the hard way, but I learned, and that, you know, that helped me out a lot. Unfortunately, I think I just need to learn the hard way with most things.
Some people do, man. Some people do.
Honestly, it's okay, because I don't regret any of it. I am the person I am today because of it. The biggest positive, I would say, would be the travel, the drive up. It's just beautiful, and just like you're saying, Caleb, like open road of America, that's a dream for a lot of people, and I think people really need to do it. You know, it's going to take sacrifice, and if you're willing to make that sacrifice, you're going to reap the benefits of the beauty that is, you know, the open roads of America.
For sure.
I would say, the bad thing is at this point being away from you guys and being away from my family. But then again, it's going to come at some point, and it was my choice to do it kind of earlier on. So I don't really regret it, but I do still miss all you guys, and I miss my family.
For sure. And yeah, well, the heartstrings. My heartstrings.
So, I guess my thing with the travel too, though, is like I'm not saying like I've never traveled, because like I've been out of the country, like I've been to different countries. I've traveled all the way to the East Coast, the West Coast, and had a blast traveling. But that was all like family vacation and stuff in that sort of sense. I think traveling by yourself in this time of figuring out yourself just gives you that openness and seclusion for you to just sit there and kind of process your life, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Makes sense. Yeah, traveling.
No plan, like having really no set plans, no set times and dates. You just kind of go, you know.
Yeah, my summer after, I didn't really touch on it, but I was a huge baseball player in high school, bro. I wanted to play college ball. I wanted all this stuff. Well, my arm didn't want that. I blew my arm out my sophomore year. Had to have surgery. Tried to recoup from it and didn't. And so my senior year, like exactly what you're saying, Caleb. I graduated. I was playing summer ball. My arm just couldn't take it anymore. I told the coach, I was like, I'm going away and I'm not going to play the rest of the summer. I can't do this anymore. It's just my heart was not in it. And if your heart's not in it, you hopped on a plane in Tucson, Arizona for 2 weeks by myself, met up with some people I knew down there. It's great. It's great.
All right. Well, I think we should transition into Nevin's amazing, mysterious
Mystery time.
surprise topic.
Surprise topic.
Yeah.
All right. So we are at currently 50 minutes and 26 seconds. So if we run a little over an hour, I apologize, but we will keep this one more short for sure. It's definitely more of a playful topic. The reason I wanted to surprise you guys with it is because I wanted to know your reaction on the spot.
Let's go.
So I guess we can go in the same order as earlier. So starting with Jordan, you were watching the news one day. Weird stuff's happening on TV, man. You can't really explain it, but in the back of your mind, you're like, I've seen this before. You walk outside, freaking zombies. All right, tell us your plan. Tell us your plan on what you're going to do. The zombie apocalypse is here, and I want to know what you're going to do to survive. You're on the spot right now.
All right, first step. Got to go inside. Got to get all the Reese's Puffs in my house because I love Reese's Puffs. Can't live without it. I get the Reese's Puffs, right? Then I got to get in my car. Maybe the truck. Probably the car, honestly. Better gas mileage. Got to save that. Got to go to Bay's house, pick her up.
Ooh, the Bay.
Steal her dad's guns because that's going to be important. Then take out from there. And honestly, I'd probably go to the feed yard that I worked at because I feel like it's open. We can get like up on a high point, see everything. We'd have a crap ton of cows for food, and that's probably where I'd hang out for a long time. So that's my plan.
Solid.
With Reese's Puffs, though.
Reese's Puffs. All right, who's next?
All right, I'll go. All right. So I guess the thing is, you walk outside, you see all the zombies, you're like, holy poop, So, I go in, I grab the keys, I grab some things I need. I don't know what I'm going to grab, just the necessities. I get in the Camaro, I speed past them. Things are dodging off because, it's low profile. They're dodging off. I'm cruising along.
Flipping over.
And, you got the fam behind me, that's who I need. I need the fam. So we all go to my dad's shop. We get in one of his trucks, big old Peterbilts,
Ooh.
and we got one of them babies. We get in one of them. Nothing's gonna stop it. We get in one of those. We cruise. I don't know where we're gonna go. Somewhere, probably out in the country somewhere, at a farm. They're not gonna come out there, right?
Right?
I mean, not like the
right? Yeah.
that never happened in The Walking Dead, right?
Gotta get Devin from the East Coast.
Yes. Yeah.
No, because I walk outside, I see a zombie, run back inside. I have to spend probably a half an hour convincing my grandparents that it's happening. I don't know if they're going to be down to go anywhere with me. My old plan in Kansas was to go to the canyons in Colorado, but that's not happening because I am not going to make it across the country. I don't know anybody with guns out here.
You're kind of screwed.
This is my goodbye message to you guys because I'm going to try to make it to the shore, which is about 45 miles away. Try to make it to the shore in my car, being as fast as I possibly can. Getting on a boat, and I'm probably going to be on a boat, guys. So that's where I'm going to
pirate
be.
ship, living the dream.
Exactly.
PhantomCast zombie apocalypse. What?
So I'm screwed. Who's next?
I think I'm the only one left. No, Crockett hasn't given his.
Okay.
Well,
James, go ahead.
I'm pretty crazy. When I'm not given super good advice, I am trying not to get pissed off because I get angry pretty easily, and I would see zombies and be pretty ticked off because that would mean no more internet, and no more internet means I can't play no video games. And so I grab the nearest katana. I'm like, I don't need a gun. What?
Real life Nazi zombies.
I would thank our Lord and Savior of the Jiu-Jitsu, Bruce Lee. I don't know if he was Jiu-Jitsu, karate, whatever. I would, grab my katana that I probably should buy one because I don't own one. And I would just start slaying, bro. I would just slay them up and down the streets. I would pile them up. Oh, heck yeah. And I would just feel like a total cool guy. And, and I would, of course, meet up with Steve at his dad's shop with my katana on my back, smeared in blood.
Heck yeah.
Zombie head hanging from the antenna of my truck. Dukes of Hazzard horn blaring. And then we would just go off, man. We would just go
right
on
off
an
into the
adventure.
sunset.
Heck yeah, right off into the sunset. And
right.
it'd be awesome.
Okay, so zombie apocalypse is happening. What does Caleb do? Okay, so we go out on the back porch. We get onto the motorcycle. But before we get on the motorcycle, see, okay, because I have an enduro. I have an enduro. You guys are all in my head right now. So
okay, all right.
Before we get on the enduro motorcycle, we go out in the garage. We go out in the garage and get the essentials. I have probably at least 3 weeks worth of canned food out in the garage. I have a tent. I have sleeping bags. I have pillow. I mean, we're going to take sleeping bag, tent, cot, and tie it all down because we have a lot of rope at my house. Get all that situated on the bike, but make sure that there's room for 2 because after that, I'm going to grab all my weapons. I've got hatchet, tomahawk, machete, all the essentials. And
ready.
Wow.
Take the hunting knife because at some point the canned food is going to run out. So at some point we're going to have to skin ourselves some rabbits because that's the only thing that's probably still edible. And we jump on the bike, run over to Bay's house, pick her up, go down to the riverbed because if you don't live in Kansas, the Arkansas River, and if you're in Kansas, you call it the Arkansas River, but it's actually Arkansas River. We jump down there because there's no water in there whatsoever, and we just ride until we get to the most desolate place that we can possibly find. And I actually know a really good spot because I stop there on my bike whenever I'm riding in the riverbed. And basically, it's up a little ways, but you're not up on top. You're kind of in this crook in the back. I could set up the tent, the cot, make a little fire if I needed to. We're good to go. I mean, that's total survival right there.
I like it.
Yeah, buddy.
I dig it.
So we
survival.
basically went from a very serious topic to something that was so goofy, but it
had to end on a light
mood.
note, you know?
It definitely lightened the mood.
Yeah.
If you don't,
What we got for time, Devin?
We're at 57:43, so whenever you want to roll with your part, and then Steve can outro us.
All right. Well, guys, if you enjoyed these topics today, and if you have any other topics that you would like to suggest for us, just throw them down in the comment section. I promise you, probably all 5 of us will read them because we have nothing better to do with our lives, according to J-Man. And
True.
And just go ahead and hit that like button if you like what we talked about, and if you don't, go ahead. Don't be afraid. Hit that dislike button if you really just didn't like what we talked about.
I would suggest
Because we are all about
comment and liking.
Well, okay. If you dislike, you have to leave a comment of why you disliked it. Okay.
Constructive criticism.
Yep.
But definitely hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see our weekly uploads. And on to you, Steven.
Yeah, well, we just want to thank you all. If you have listened through it all this far, we want to thank you very much for your time. We hope we have not disappointed you. We will keep making these podcasts for you guys. Hope you all enjoy them. This has been the PhantomCast, and we will catch you on the flip side.